Scientific study of Vedas, creation of universe, starting from Brahman, class 27. Today we are going to see the first incarnation of Vishnu, that is fish. This creation of universe, starting from Brahman, is explaining through 10 incarnations. These are 10 steps that is followed in the creation of universe. There are 10 steps, out of which through the first 6 steps or through first 6 incarnations, it explains the creation of this whole universe that contains planets, a combination of planets, and we are also going to see the structure of this universe. This structure is completed through 6 incarnations or in 6 steps, and through these steps or through these incarnations, Vedavyasa explains the formation of this universe, that structure, then that is explained in the story form in various Purana stories. So it is an explanation in story form. So that is for common man. In presenting it in story form, it requires character, most of which are in the form of human beings or anything like that. So through 6 incarnations, the creation of this planetary system, our universal structure, is explained, and through the other 4, and through the other 4 incarnations, creation that take place on the earth, we know the earth is also developing, progressing scientifically with the help of human beings. So utilizing human beings, the earth is progressing, scientifically developing, starting from that ancient period or Gotra Kalagatta, and by step, the developments are taking place through human beings that are explained through 4 stages, that is through 4 incarnations, out of which 3 are important. 4th is the last one. After creating the beautiful world, then that process is over, that objective is attained, then it dissolves this universe and merges it with the Brahman. So that is the last incarnation, Kalki Avatar. So through 3 progress is taking place, and there are 4 stages: Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. That is, one is Gotra Kalagatta, that age stone period. Then colonialism, then socialism and capitalism. Then final stage is creation of a universal government, and all the people belongs to a single family, and in the story form it is mentioned as Vasudeva family or Krishna family or anything like that. That is the objective, to create a beautiful world, all living as a members of a family with only one government and with the full knowledge of this universe. So all these steps are explained through 10 avatars. And in this, the first incarnation is the fish avatar. Now, we know at the start of creation, there was only Brahma. Brahman is nirguna, without any qualities, without any feelings, and there is no limit to it. It has the lowest limit. It can take the lowest limit or it can take the highest limit. Such a thing is the Brahman. If anything taken out from it, the quantity remains as such. So that is Brahman. From this universe was created. So, at the time of creation, a desire came in the mind of Brahman to create a beautiful world. For that, first came out Brahmanaspati, a driving force. That is a driving force or a ambition force. Like we have so many ambitions based on which we are doing something. Okay. But this ambition has no limit. It may be zero, no ambition, or it may be infinity. Likewise, this also driving force is a force which has no limit, lower or upper limit or anything like that. But at the same time, it is a driving force and energy. It can be treated as an energy. So, this driving force came out in the form of wave. And this wave contains three factors. Based on Newton's law, there is one stationary state. Everything remains to remain in the steady in that state. That is Newton's first law. And as per Veda, it is Sattva Guna. That means everything remains, likes to remain in a steady state. To change it from that state, it should take a force. That is Newton's first law. And as per Veda, it is Rajoguna. So Rajoguna is the driving force which resulted in the development and creation. So as per Newton's third law, there is a negative force or reaction. That is the second form of the wave. This is first form, this is anti, second form. That is called Tamoguna. Thus a wave is formed. That is the energy. It contains three parts. One is creation. That means everything that is going to take place should pass through three stages. One is creation, then it maintains for a sufficient period. After usage, it is destructed. If we construct a building, we first construct it, first stage, then maintains it. After use, we will destroy it. So this driving force can be divided into three. That is creative force, and in Purana story they are named as Brahma. A character in story, even though it is a driving force, which has the tendency to create, or a creative force, that is in story form it will be represented as Brahma. Then that created thing is to be maintained, or if it is universe, it is to be maintained for a definite period. That maintaining force is known as Vishnu. That is the character in Purana stories. Then after completion of this objective, they will destruct it. That is Mahadeva. That is a character in the Purana stories. Actually, it's a destructive force. Thus, force can be divided into three. Creative force, that is the top waveform. Destructive or negative form. In between is the stable state, Sattva Guna, that is Vishnu, as per Purana stories. So, it is the duty of the Brahma to create this universe. After forming this wave, before that, there is an objective for Brahman to create a force, that is Brahmanaspati, the first driving force. For creation, the first thing required is knowledge, science. So first came out Vedas. Veda means self-person science, on the basis of which this creation is done. So science is required. If we want to create a house, we require knowledge how to construct. If we want to cook a food, we know how to cook it. So knowledge is the first thing. So from the Brahman, Nirguna Brahman, first come out Brahmanaspati with the knowledge. That is Veda. Full science behind this universe. That is Veda. We can call it modern science also. It is a part of Veda. Then came out the plan for it, that is Paramatma. For doing anything, we should require a plan. There is an objective, that is create a beautiful universe. How it is to be completed, when it is to be completed, how it is to be created, in which stages it should be created. Likewise, everything. What science is to be, science is already there. So how it is to be, atoms are to be, when it is to be atoms to be formed, when it is to be combined to molecule, etc., etc. Everything is based on certain plan, and that plan is based on some time factor. So a good plan means it is based on time schedule. So Paramatma is the science. In the case of a computer, is Paramatma is software. In the case of a government, budget is the Paramatma. In the case of a construction of a building, its plan is the Paramatma. Likewise. So that science is there, the plan is there, and the driving force, then divided, flow throughout the universe in the form of wave. And this wave contains three factors: Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, creative force, destructive force, and maintenance force. So before, at the time of creation of these forces, the universe was filled with this wave, and due to combination of different types of waves, particles are formed, ankyrases. Ankyrases are formed throughout this universe, and it filled throughout the universe in the form of a wave and particle. So everywhere it is uniform. So it is treated in the story as a saga or sea. We know throughout this sea, the structure is uniform. Only we can see waves. Some particles are also there. So this universe was in that form at this time of creation of Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, or division of this driving force into Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. These are also driving forces and it has no limit. If you take anything from this Brahman, it will remain as such. Brahmava, it will remain as such. No limit. That is the only different from modern science to that science. So science is divided into two, para science and apara science. In para science comes this driving force, motive factor, emotions, love, hatred, likewise everything that are not measurable or countable. It has no limit. Our emotions have no limit. It may be sometime, it may be zero, it may be infinite. But in modern science, it is not possible. Energy can either be created nor destroyed. Its form can be changed. But in this case, in the case of emotions, it may be zero. It can be any limit. If we take some emotion, it will produce another emotion without reducing its quantity. So there are two sciences, parascience and aparascience. In this parascience, these forces are taken into account in Vedas. We know all things that happen in this universe is based on some emotions or such emotional factors, forces. Politics, everything is based on emotion. Likewise forces, love, hatred, such things are there. We cannot count it. But its influence is great. That is controlling the universe. That force is taken into account. That type of force is divided into three: creative force, destructive force, and maintenance force. Three stages. That is Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Now, it is the duty of the Brahma to start creation. Based on which? Based on the science that already formed, and also based on the there is a well-defined plan, that is Paramatma. This Brahma has only one thing to do, to create the universe as per the plan. He does not possess any supernatural qualities or anything like that. He is like his duty is only to create as per the plan. It should be created at the proper time. So, and Vishnu is the helping force, maintenance, helping force. Whenever any require help in anywhere, Vishnu, that driving force, that is another drive force, maintenance force, that is helping to retain the condition steadily or go to the process continuously without any obstacle. So, Brahma want to start the universe, but he don't know how to create. Because he does not possess any knowledge. If we want to cook a food, we should know how to prepare it. Otherwise, we will be in a very horrible condition. We can just avoid that cooking. That is possible for us. But Brahma cannot do that. Brahma is bound to do the work as per that program Paramatma. So Brahma was in a very difficult position. He don't know what to do. He was in utter confusion at that time because he does not possess the knowledge. Already where that knowledge was there. At the time of creation itself, before starting, first thing came out is the knowledge, science, Veda. So in story form, it is presented in such a way that we can see in Agni Purana. It says one demon named Hayagrivan stole the Vedas and kept it under the sea. We know demon is the force which stands against any positive or that creation. So the first thing required is knowledge. So this demon stole the knowledge and kept it under the sea. That means it is presented in the story form for common man. But what is the meaning of it? If we want to create a food, make a food, we should first acquire the knowledge. For acquiring the knowledge, we are ignorant at that time. As per Newton's first law, we should continue to remain in that ignorance. To overcome this ignorance or to understand how to prepare food, we should use our brain and energy, and we will do anything. But it will not come quickly to us, because as per Newton, if we use some energy to study, immediately there is a reaction as per Newton's third law, or as per Veda. This ignorance is our present state, that is Sattva Guna. We remain in that state. If we want to acquire energy as knowledge, we should use force, use our brain, etc. energy. That is creative force, or that is the duty of Brahma. But at the same time, a reaction also is there, that is demon. Demon will oppose the force which is using to acquire knowledge. There is an opposite. That is why we are using force to understand something. Studying something is a very difficult thing, because something is opposing it. There is, as per Newton's third law, or as per Vedas, that Tamoguna also is the, it opposes. It remains, we are in an ignorant position. As per Newton's first law, or Sattva Guna, there is a tendency to remain in that position. If we want to acquire knowledge, we should use force or energy. At the same time, the other negative force created as per Newton's third law, it opposes. So demon is active at that time. We should overcome it. Demon is there. Opposing force is there. So if we want to acquire knowledge or Veda, demon opposes. That demon take that in story form. Demon take that Brahman, that Vedas, and put it under the sea in a hidden place. It is explained beautifully in the story form. So to overcome this opposition from the demon, Brahma requires some force or some help from, as per Newton's second law, some force or some help from Vishnu, the second force, as per the story. So Vishnu went inside the sea, deep into the sea, and killed the demon Hayagriva, and bring back the Vedas and gave it to Brahma. Then Brahma got the knowledge. He studied well everything. So now he can start the creation. Then what is the meaning of the story? Actually, this thing is very simple. The important fact is that to start any creative work, any work, We should know the knowledge based on science. That based on science only, we can create anything. We can do any work with the support of knowledge. That is essential. That is the first thing. Acquiring knowledge is a difficult, very important thing, and it is not easy to get it. So the first incarnation is to get the knowledge. But why it is this character is in the form of fish? Because at that time the whole surrounding was filled with the waves, and there is particles here and there, angiras, and it is uniform like sea. So it is represented in the form of a sea because there is waves and everywhere it is uniform. So in the sea, the character suitable is fish. So represent it as a fish. The first incarnation is fish. It goes to the sea and kill the demon and bring back the Vedas. The story form character is essential. The nature of that surroundings is like a sea. So we cannot create a character like a bird or anything like that. So they showed it as they represent it as a fish. The character in that stage is fish. That's all. In story form, it is a suitable character. Thus, Brahman is going to create this universe with the knowledge of science or Vedas. Veda means 10% science, and with the support of this Vedas, Brahma is going to create universe. We know first thing he is going to create is atom, then molecule. Likewise, it will go. That we can see in the next classes.